Yeah, I guess what do people, I don't know. Yeah. I guess it's good that I'm not doing that. What's one of the toughest things about streaming that people don't understand though?
I'll say it like this. Back in the day, Joe Rogan used to always talk about how when you do a 3-hour podcast, like there are so much that people can just like clip out of that and then take.
So today we have Hasan Piker on the Theo show discussing the Joe Rogan podcast, discussing podcasting in general, of course, discussing what the hard part is about doing streaming and everything. So Hasan Piker, I guess, is going to try to defend himself for some of the things that he gets caught saying and doing. But Hasan Piker also has been known to say like some insane things, as like, you know, America deserved 9/11, you know, that kind of thing or whatever. And so Hasan Piker and Theo are discussing this, I guess, this position of like clipping. It gets a little hot and heavy, you know, and of course bringing up Joe Rogan into it, who is like the king of podcasters. It's kind of interesting to see where he thinks he fits into that kind of like Joe Rogan world. In his right, he does have influence. I can't even front. Hasan Piker does have influence. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video.
Out of context, like rob it of its nuance and rob it of its context. And it was funny because like at the time when he was saying this, like podcasting was a relatively new medium. I'm talking like 2014, 2015 when when he like first was building out the Joe Rogan experience, right? Mm-hmm. Every other week, seemingly the media would yell at him over some shit that he said on his podcast. And he was like, we're having an honest discussion. It's 3 hours. It's back and forth. It's going to happen. Like things are going to get taken out of context. I think for Twitch streaming, that's tuned up to 11, where not only am I live, I'm talking about politics, which are, you know, I mean, I'm talking about some really crazy issues, hot button topics. And also I'm doing that with a live audience who's constantly chirping at me in real time. Trying to constantly piss me off. And then when they do successfully piss me off, they'll clip that shit and post it on Twitter, post it on Reddit, be like, call out post. This guy's bad. Look at what he said. And, you know, when you got like crazy dedicated haters too, especially because you're doing politics in general, you're going to have a lot of crazy dedicated haters. They just do, you know, they just compile all of that to be like, this is a bad person over and over and over again. Like,
the thing is that I can understand where Hasan Piker is coming from, you know, with this concept of being clipped outside of context, you know, out of context, like, or if you answer a question quickly or something and then somebody clips it, or, you know, maybe there are trolls in the comments trying to get on Hasan Piker's nerves. My issue with Hasan Piker is that Hasan Piker will not give this same type of grace to other streamers, you know, such as like a Nick Fuentes or, you know, one of the other MAGA pundits, whatever. Anywho, with that said, like I said, I can understand it, but I just feel like then allow the same grace, because this is exactly what happens when you clip somebody out of context and then now you give them a label. And how many labels have we seen given to people who, when you got to know them or you talk to them or you see them in an interview, when you actually get to watch their show like you should, instead of just seeing a 5-minute clip out of, or even a 30-second clip out of context, you're like, oh, this is actually not who the person really is. With that said, by the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
You'll see it in the comment section of this video. There will be a ton of people who are going to come in and be like, this guy is a bad dude. Like, he said this, he said that. Because, like, the major reason, obviously, for that is because I'm anti-Israel. Like, I'm pro-Palestine. I've been pro-Palestine for quite a while, and that really brings out the crazies.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You haven't encountered this? I mean, you had Gabor Mate on.
Yeah, we had Gabor Mate. We had a rabbi. We had Bassem Youssef, and we definitely have tried to like learn some about it. I think in the end, for me, it just became like my feelings just tell me that it's just messed up what's happening to those people. It's like, and that a lot of
Now, please forgive me once again. You know, guys, people are going to say, and I'm not going to actually ask for forgiveness. I'm being a little sarcastic. People are going to say, like, oh, you there you go again with bringing up this topic. I really kind of like, I saw a little bit of this clip, but I didn't know that it went into this topic. But this is a huge topic. And so Hasan Piker, once again, is right, you know, telling Theo Von that when you are pro-Palestine or when you call out, you know, this particular Ben Shapiro's favorite country. By the way, Ben Shapiro has come after Theo Von for these kind of things, right? You do get attacked. You can even be deplatformed. You can. It's just a simple fact, right? But again, with Hasan Piker is you will not give that same grace to Nick Fuentes. You'll just come out and say, oh, he's a Nazi because X, Y, Z. And it's like, no, we shouldn't be doing it like that. Like, we should understand that this is what happens to people when you call out that foreign influence in our government. But let's see how far they go with this conversation.
it was covered up by the media, or they didn't want you to share certain information, or you weren't allowed to.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's how it's always been, though. It's not just for Israel. It's just in general. Like, when it comes to American foreign policy, the American media is fairly one note. Our politicians are one note on it, too. They're bipartisan on that.
Right.
That's like.
So when you say that, do you mean that they're all in on the same? It's all kind of the same ruse. Do you mean?
Yeah, yeah. They all agree. It's always uniparty when it comes to American foreign policy. When it comes to giving money to Israel. When it comes to a lot of that stuff, like going to war with Iraq, right?
Now, see, the thing is, it's funny watching a left winger talk about this, because he should have said, also, we're giving money to Ukraine. Do not sleep on Republicans. They were perfectly fine giving money to Ukraine as well.
You got the media also presenting that lie that they have, chemical weapons, they have weapons of mass destruction, and uncritically reporting on that to justify going to war with Iraq, going and invading a foreign nation that we had no business invading.
Right.
So that happens all the time.
Do you think that that's starting to get upset even by like podcasting, streaming? Do you think that apple cart's starting to change? It feels like.
Oh, for sure. I think that the independent media, the independent media sphere definitely is like dominating, partially because of that reason. Sometimes for bad reasons. People have lost confidence in media when they just don't like what they're reporting, even if they're reporting the truth. And then there are plenty of major reasons, like Jeffrey Epstein's death. Like, you go to any outlet, most of them are going to rule it a suicide. No critical reporting on it whatsoever. Just unconditionally saying like, no, it was definitely a suicide. Like, the average American doesn't feel that way. And
so that is a good example to use, and it's cool that he brought that up, although I'm not going to stay too stuck on that topic, which you see, and there you go again with the censorship, right? It's like you can't help but do you have to do like a little bit of censorship. This is why, though, for me, I've been telling myself I need to really get back to writing, to really get my thoughts out there the way I see them. But coming back to the point of everything they're talking about in this clip is actually a pretty good clip, breaking down the issues that we have with communication, trying to get out the inconvenient truth to people, right? Again, I have heard, like I said, I'm not with Hasan Piker when it comes to labeling people, and both sides do this, right? I don't fit in any side anymore, right? Especially after the last 2 years, I realized that this country actually is not working for the people, and I'm just tired of the lies, right? I fit on the side of like Christ following, truth seeking, that kind of thing. So I don't. There's no political party that that answers to my needs as an American. I think there's no political party that answers to any American's needs. I think they lie all the time. Okay, so this is not anything new, and but coming back to the main point is that all of these strongholds, the censorship and everything. So that's why I feel like unless somebody straight up comes out and there are people who say like, oh, we need to slaughter these people, or, people need to get hurt and things like that. Let's chill with the labels, really, because I think that everybody should either stay out of each other's way or, or just call out the truth or work together. They're not going to work together, so stay out of each other's way. I think this was a pretty good clip, though. I have been listening to Hasan Piker a little bit more, only because of the geopolitical situations. But again, he does kind of sometimes take it to a level that there's still a bias. Because he didn't call out the Ukraine funding. That should have been called out too, especially with our stockpiles being so low, with our military industrial, all of that. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.